So Papo have introduced just 2 prehistoric animal models for 2021, and neither are dinosaurs. Wouldn't it be great if you could play a role in helping to influence Papo's product development? Well, you just might be able to do so. Stick around, we'll tell you more. Hi, Everything Dinosaur here, and in this video we'll give you more information about our working relationship with Papo, the famous French model and figure manufacturer. There's been a lot of interest in Papo's product development for 2021. We'll give you the opportunity to look at the story behind their model development and to explain why they've only had the opportunity to put out 2 models this year. We'll also talk about some of the suggestions we've made to Papo about how they might be able to develop their product range over the next 12 months or so. And then we're going to pass the baton to you. As Papo collectors and dinosaur model fans, we'll be asking you for your thoughts and suggestions on how Papo might increase its product offering this year. So, after the obligatory reminder about subscribing, we'll crack on. Don't forget to subscribe and to hit that notification button to be part of the conversation. Papo have been making models and figures for more than 25 years, and over that time they have built up a loyal and dedicated following. We have seen their prehistoric animal model range, what our French chums call Les Dinosaurs, grow and expand, with Everything Dinosaur stocking more than 50 Papo prehistoric animal figures in 2020. The hard-working and enthusiastic team at Papo have always taken great pride in being able to introduce new dinosaur and prehistoric animal models to their dedicated fans. But in 2021, there will be just 2 models introduced into Les Dinosaurs, a replica of a young Smilodon and a Megalodon shark model. The reason for this is very simple. It's down to the COVID-19 pandemic. Like just about every other manufacturer, not just makers of models and replicas, this virus has severely disrupted the manufacturing process. Staff have had to self-isolate, production schedules have had to be altered, and global shipping, whether it's raw material supplies or the dispatching of finished goods, it's been devastated. And with so much more online shopping taking place, even getting hold of cardboard for packaging has been a challenge, which we at Everything Dinosaur know all about, as in our environmental policy we've committed to using 100% recycled cardboard, and this has been as rare as dinosaur fossils. All these problems have led to Papo not being able to roll out the models that they wanted to in 2021. Over the last 7 years, Papo has added an average of 5 new prehistoric animal figures, reissues, or colour variants of existing figures every year. Last year, for example, Papo added 6 models, new colour variants of the feathered velociraptor and the Parasaurolophus, and 4 brand new figures, the Chilisaurus, the Stygimoloch, that controversial Giganotosaurus, plus our personal favourite, the Megalosaurus. But 2021 is the first year that we can remember that Papo has not added a single dinosaur model. In fact, you have to go all the way back to 2015 to find the last time when just 2 new prehistoric animals were introduced, the young Apatosaurus and the now retired Tupuhara pterosaur. Whilst Papo's management have done all they can to bring out more figures, they understand that their loyal fans like to have new models. That's why Papo is as keen as ever to hear your comments and your views about potential new products. So you can see that recently, model collectors have been rather spoilt for choice when it comes to Papo products. But this year things are going to be different. as with a lot of manufacturers, they've had to cut down on the number of figures that they can produce. Now, Papo intend to introduce the young Smilodon and the Megalodon model, and they're scheduled for Q4. That means they'll be available from the likes of Everything Dinosaur round about October time. But what we have said with Papo, and what Papo have agreed with us, is this. Our intention is to under-promise and over-deliver. Well, put simply, if there is a way in which we could get those two models to you earlier than October, then Papo will be doing everything it possibly can to achieve that. We've also made some suggestions to Papo about how they could increase their product offering this year. Here's some suggestions we've got. A manufacturer does not necessarily have to go to the expense of having to create a new figure to increase their product offering. For example, recently Papo have introduced a number of colour variants of existing figures. These have proved very popular with collectors. So we have suggested that Papo consider producing a colour variant of one of the existing prehistoric animal figures, such as a colour variant of the Papo adult Triceratops, or perhaps a colour variant of the Papo Pteranodon. If Papo introduced a colour variant of their Pteranodon model, then perhaps the new version could be the male, whilst the original could represent a female. How about Papo reintroducing retired favourites, such as the Papo woolly rhinoceros, that went out of production a few years ago? Or perhaps they could make a limited production run of their classic original green standing T-Rex figure. Could these reintroduced replicas be incorporated into a special gift set for the Christmas market perhaps? Everything Dinosaur has also suggested to Papo that Papo could introduce a model of a juvenile Giganotosaurus to accompany the adult Giganotosaurus that was introduced in 2020. As a smaller model representing a juvenile, it might permit the Papo design team to give this dinosaur a posture more in keeping with current scientific thinking. So those are our suggestions to Papo. And now it's over to you, which means it's time for this. Our question of the day. How would you go about extending the Papo Prehistoric Animal model range? Do you think they should introduce a new colour variant of an existing model, like the Triceratops figure we suggested? Or perhaps you see some merits in the return of retired figures, such as the woolly rhinoceros or 55001, the original green standing T-Rex. And if you do, perhaps you see those figures being offered in a gift set. And if you do think a gift set's a good idea, what models would you want to have that set contain? And what do you think about our suggestion of having a juvenile Giganotosaurus to go with the Giganotosaurus that was introduced last year? The juvenile, being slightly smaller, could perhaps have a more anatomically accurate body plan. Let us know your thoughts and views by leaving us comments. And, as we promised in our previous Papo video when we asked you about new model suggestions, we will collate your comments and feedback and pass them on to our friends at Papo. So there you have it, a little more information about Everything Dinosaur and how we work with the French model manufacturer Papo. Now, we're going to put some links to our previous Papo video looking at Papo in perspective in the video description below. Please feel free to have a look at that. I hope it helps with any model suggestions that you might have. We'll also put a link to the Papo section of our website, where if you want to, you can pick up a Papo Prehistoric Animal model or two. Well, on that note, I'll say thanks very much for listening. We look forward to all your comments and suggestions about how Papo can extend its model range. And we'll say thank you.